Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Well, you all made me do it. You did, and I have to thank you. After one of my recent video unboxings, many of you inquired if I had the Meta Muse Tarot. And I had to admit, this deck was not on my radar. So I checked it out and immediately purchased it. You all know me so well. It has everything that I like. Now, per the description for the deck, the Meta Muse Tarot is designed to align you with your inner muse by awakening your intuition and creativity. This deck references traditional RWS scenery in an eclectic retro collage style that's steeped in meaning and symbolism. Making this deck especially unique is the additional Tree of Life card, an ancient Kabbalistic diagram which illustrates the nature of existence and can be explored through the tarot. The Meta Muse Tarot will spark your imagination, help provide clarity, and assist diving deep into your own transformation. It comes complete with a very in-depth little guidebook that's included. You don't have to pay extra for it. And it's just beautiful. And these are the gorgeous backs, and I am just itching to turn this deck over to take a look. Why don't you join me? do hope you enjoyed that musical flip through of the Meta Muse Tarot by Kerry Krogstad, or Krogstad. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the last name. I think this is such a beautiful deck. Oh my gosh, I am just astounded by all the wonderful collage decks that are coming out. And you know how I love collage decks. One thing I want to point out, as you saw in the musical flip through, this card does come with a certificate of authenticity. Well, the first card, it says first edition. So I'm thinking that there may be a second edition somewhere along the pipeline. That would be very nice if there changes, something to make it a little bit different. This cardstock is really, really nice and buttery smooth. The cardstock on Etsy is just described as smooth matte texture cards with gold gilt edges. Okay, but some of you guys, as I mentioned, turned me on to this deck, and I can't remember which unboxing I was doing, but you asked me if I was familiar with this deck, and I said no, I wasn't. And I went and looked, and I said, I'm ordering it. And especially because this deck comes from Austin, Texas. So I'm assuming that the creator is in Austin, Texas, which is where I am. I'm in the greater Austin area. This deck follows very, very closely to the RWS system. So if you are a beginner who loves collage decks, this would be perfect for you. Perfect, because all the imagery follows the traditional RWS deck very, very closely, but it's more interesting. And this card cracks me up because I want to say this is Tarzan and Jane. I don't know if this is Johnny Weissmuller. I think that's who played the original Tarzan back in the, what was it, the 40s or 50s? I don't know, but let me know if you know. But this one cracks me up. There's a lot of whimsy and kitsch in these old collage decks, which I love. And the artwork, they're so textured and beautiful. It's a delight to the senses, a delight to my senses for sure. With the added element, and why I love collage decks so much, is you wonder about these people. And some of these you can tell are entertainers of yore, of days gone past, but you wonder about them. And sometimes there'll be some famous figures in here, but most of the time not. They're just photographs. I just wonder about their lives. They've probably been dead for 75, 100 years. And you just kind of wonder, how did they get through their lives? What tragedies, what triumphs they had? This I know is Russian ballerina Anna Pavlova, and she turns up in a lot of collage decks. Very expressive face. That's why, I think. But I just wonder, these people in the photographs, they had no indoor plumbing, a lot of them. They had a lot of disease. You couldn't just get your vaccination against measles, mumps, and rubella, and chickenpox and whatnot. These women, died in childbirth at a high percentage, lost a lot of their children in infancy. This one cracks me up because usually we see in the Five of Wands, we'll see 5 males or 5 male presenting figures battling it out. And now we see the same woman battling herself, which is quite interesting. I like that take. But yeah, I think it's because of the energy of the past that I'm so drawn to these decks. And they keep getting better and better. I have, my favorites are Carrie Paris, her Relative Tarot, and Marie Bento's Antiquarian Tarot. But I don't know, there's a lot of great ones coming out, and maybe I should do a video of the battle of the collage decks. The Dream Keeper's Tarot is another one that I really, really love. And see how traditional they kept the aces, just like the RWS. In fact, I think in the swords, I think the Eight of Swords we see in the Dream Keeper's Tarot, that image that's in this deck. I think this image is beautiful. So much texture in life. It just wants to jump off the card. And this one is really cute. So the cardstock feels divine. You know, I'm kind of getting away from the shiny gold edging, but you know, with this type of deck, when it wears off, it'll wear off nicely, I think, you know, and just kind of add to the patina of the deck. I think this Eight of Cups is beautiful. So you notice on the majors, they have the banner with the title just on the bottom. And then we just have the numbers on the minors. And you notice that each card lists the elemental and astrological symbols, as well as the corresponding Hebrew letter on the Tree of Life. So it's wonderful. And we do get a little bit of diversity, which we don't often get in retro decks, in retro collage art decks, but we do get a little bit here. Very, very traditional imagery, but I think it's collage just beautifully. It just flows. I think this deck just flows, and this cracks me up with all these gentlemen in the Five of Swords with dress wear. Yeah, it cracks me up a little bit, and that's what I love, the humor in these collage decks. So this is the image, I think, that's in, I want to say, the Dream Keeper's Tarot, also is the Eight of Swords in that deck. I know I've seen this more than once, but it fits, and when an image works, it works. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, what you're thinking. If you are a fan of collage decks, how do you think this ranks up with your favorites? And let me know what your favorite collage deck is in your collection/library. Now, there is one other collage deck that I'm intending to get before they sell out, and that is the Carte Postale Tarot. And a lot of you have been asking me if I have that, and I do not, because it's gonna be coming from Europe, and you have to pay that extra shipping, and the deck is not cheap. It's beautiful. It comes in a magnetic box, and the collage looks beautiful from the photos I've seen, but I've been traveling, and I've been, you know, I don't want to go past my budget for my decks and things, so I'm intending on purchasing it this weekend, and I plan out my expenditures and what I want to get, you know, as far as non-necessities. But of course, you know, a lot of us say, yeah, well, tarot is a necessity. Wonderful King of Pentacles here, and here's that extra Tree of Life card. The deck shuffles beautifully. This is really nice cardstock, satin smooth. It's not sticky, and even with the gilding, it's shuffling just fine. Yeah, it feels really good in the hand, being a standard tarot size card. It's not clumpy. It's really, really nice and smooth. And while we're here, let's just take a look at this chunky little guidebook, which I always love when there's a guidebook. There is a table of contents in here, and it does have sample cards, spreads, and tools, and references for further reading. And about the author in this deck is copyrighted 2021. I'm just going to read a little bit of the welcome to the Metamorphosis. And the creator says, creating this deck and diving into the practice of tarot allowed me to transmute what I once perceived as weaknesses into strengths and connect deeply with the magical world around me. I hope to inspire others to listen to their intuition, connect to their inner muse, and know that transformation is always possible if we want it or need it. We have the ability to heal our lineages by courageously and consciously choosing to evolve. I like that. The spirit of this deck is inspired by the metamorphosis of the lunar moth, who begins as a caterpillar, slow-moving and confined to the ground. After spinning itself into a cocoon, it emerges with luminous wings and the ability to take flight. The lunar moth represents a quest for truth, heightened intuition, and always seeking the light. In its evolution, it remains one being, yet begins an entirely new life. I really like that. Now you get about this tarot deck, how to use the deck, and then straight into the major arcana. And you do get a small thumbnail size picture of the card, which is good in color. And then you get the Hebrew letter, the path, correspondence. You get the light meaning, the shadow meaning, and a general card meaning. So I've moseyed onto the cups, and you don't get the picture, but you do get the elements, the astrological symbol, a light, a shadow meaning, and a general card meaning. You're just basically missing the little colored picture. So there is the Tree of Life card, and it explains that. And there's spreads, the 3-card pull, the classic Celtic cross, and a relationship spread. Did I skip anything? Okay, and then references some well-known books by A.E. Waite and Rachel Pollack. And I want to see about the author, since she's a fellow Austinite. Kerry Krogstad is a multimedia artist, tarot reader, and astrology enthusiast, currently based in Austin, Texas. She is a 9th house Aries sun, 11th house Cancer moon, and Leo rising, who found immense healing and self-awareness through the study of Kabbalah and the Tree of Life. She thrives from alchemizing esoteric ideas into a visual medium, creating a portal of understanding that only begins to skim the surface of the deep well of knowledge derived from astrology, tarot, and Kabbalah. Her goal is to never stop learning, studying, and evolving. She hopes to share her understanding with others along the way and be a reminder that despite one's past experiences, healing and transformation is always possible. I love that. And then there's a place for notes. Great, great little guidebook. And because of this guidebook, and also because the deck follows, the symbology and the format of the classic RWS deck, I think if you're a beginner, you should have no problem if you're drawn to this kind of deck and imagery. So that concludes my unboxing and walkthrough of the Meta Muse Tarot. I want to thank you guys for turning me on to this deck. I am so excited. I think it's beautiful and stunning, and I just know I'm going to have no problems reading with it. But I want to know all your thoughts, predominantly if you are a lover of this type of deck. How do you think it stacks up with your favorites? And also leave in the comments below, what is your favorite collage deck of all time? And also a reminder, if you found this walkthrough helpful at all, please consider hitting a like, a subscribe, hitting that notification bell, all of which helps my very small channel to grow. And with that, I thank you, and I will leave you to get on with your beautiful day. Bye for now.